to start a project that is going to last a couple sessions, and it is going to be a gift option that you have this Christmas using your scrapbooking supplies. Hello, my name is Nikki and I'm with Nikki's Scrapbooking Adventures. So, it was made aware to me that a little girl really wanted to start scrapbooking, but she didn't know where to start. She didn't know where to get the supplies, all that kind of stuff, and her parents don't really want to break the bank to go get those supplies. So I thought it'd be super cute to go ahead and make her a little envelope notebook type thing that kind of holds all the supplies she would need to start scrapbooking. So that's what this is, and I am starting off in kind of a smaller scale for her because she's little and she doesn't need to make a whole 12 by 12 whatever, scrapbook. So I thought it'd be perfect to gift her a notebook and then a binder is what I'm going to call it, that will hold all of the supplies. So this is my prototype, and we are going to go ahead and make the actual cover today. We're not going to worry about the inside parts yet. That's going to be in a separate video, but we're going to make the base of this binder for her. So you can see my notebook here is about 5 3/4 by 8 1/4. So I need to make this 1/4 inch bigger, essentially, maybe even a little bit more on the spine than what is there. So thought, okay, perfect. I will just go ahead and make it out of cardstock. So what you're going to need for the cover are 2 pieces of 8 1/2 by 6 1/4. Okay. So what I did is, because I want 110-pound cardstock, I want this to be thick. My easiest way to do that is to use white. Well, it's a little girl. I don't want plain white. That's boring, right? I want some pink in there. So what I did is I just went ahead and added some spun sugar with my handy dandy brush just around the edges, because we're going to cover the middle of these. We don't need to do the entire piece of paper in that color, but to get the edge, that would be perfect. And then what we're going to need is a spine. I, in the prototype, just decided to use some packing tape, which is something you can absolutely do. But you know what? I'm going to make this in binder, so I'm going to make it look like a book cover. So the other piece of white cardstock that you're going to need is going to be 3/4 by 8 1/2. So this is going to be our spine. And again, notice I colored it in pink. You don't have to do that, but I'm making this for a little girl, so I think it's fun to add a little pop of color here and there. I don't have to worry about the one side because it's going to get covered. The other items that you need to work on the binder cover are some paper for decoration and the inside and putting it together. So for this album, I am using the Road Trip by Maggie Holmes that came out in, I want to say 2023. 2021 it looks like. So this is kind of an older collection, but I got the majority of the papers from Joanne when they were on sale. So if you have this collection, use it, right? Like, I'm not gonna go buy things for her because I have so many supplies, it's not worth it, right? So we're going to use this paper, and this is going to be my cover of my album. So I cut this down 1/4 inch from what these were originally. So this is 8 1/4 by 6. So these are going to be my covers. And then I need something to cover the spine to make it join. So using the leftover piece, okay, so this is 8 1/4, so that means this is 3 3/4 inch by 8 1/2. Now this is 8 1/2, not 8 1/4. Because it needs to cover all the way to the covers. It can't just cover this little piece. So this is what it's going to look like if I were to flatten it out. Eventually, just like another normal book, we're going to turn it and bend it and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be my spine. On the inside, okay, we're going to do another piece of paper that is 6 by 8 1/4. And that's just going to go right in there. And because I'm using this heart paper, I am making sure that I actually put this one on the front cover because it cuts the hearts in a half. And I don't want that on this edge. I want that on the inside edge because this is less likely to be noticeable. And on this, we're going to pay close attention to the height of this. So there's a reason I'm doing that. So this is actually going to be 6 by 8. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to trim this one right here. This is my back cover by 1/4 inch. I could save this or I could just throw it away. So this is 6 by 8. Now this is important for this whole process because I am going to make a DIY paper pad for her. And the papers have to fit in here, so they have to be smaller than 6 by 8. And this is where my paper pad is going to be in. It's going to be able to slide in and out of this pocket that we make here. So if you want to make your own paper pad, which why not? You're making this for a novice, right? Go ahead and cut this down so that you can make a pocket that sticks up this way. Okay, so let's assemble. So I don't get it confused, I'm going to go ahead and adhere this now because I don't want to get this confused. This is like really, really important. I'm going to use liquid glue so that when I pull the paper pad in and out, it doesn't stick on anything. So what happens with tape is that it doesn't actually dry. Unlike liquid glue dries. So what happens when you use a tape on a pocket is that you could potentially, not saying that you would, push through that tape and then it becomes sticky and gets hung up on. So here's my back cover. Now watch closely. I am pushing this on here, but then go ahead and spread it out. And then I'm going to push it in just a smidge. I'm pushing this in so that there's a little bit of a gap right here, so that it's not so hard to put my paper pad in and out. I won't do this on every single one, but for this specific one, I'm going to go ahead and push it because this is a pocket. I'm going to do that for all the pockets. I'm just going to slightly push it in so it's easier to pull things in and out of there. Now, over time, it's going to, flatten out, but that's okay, as long as in the beginning it looks like that. So I'm going to let this dry. Since I have my back cover, I might as well do the front cover, right? And I am going to go ahead and just use liquid glue on this. It holds better, but by all means, these ones... Actually, I'm making this a pocket too, just kidding. So I'm going to go ahead and just do 3 sides. Let's just make sure I did the right 3 sides. Did the wrong 3 sides. Hang on. This front cover, I'm going to make a pocket too. So when I adhere this, I need to adhere this side and then the top 2 sides. So I already got glue on the top and the bottom because I messed up originally. Something like that. And then this front is going to be a pocket, but outside here. I don't want to make the pocket on the inside because it will then be really hard to get whatever you want in there. So I'm just going to, again, push it to slightly together. There's a little bit of an easier gap, and I'm using liquid adhesive on purpose, making sure that this is the correct direction. Always want to double check that because I've glued upside down before on YouTube. So just be careful when you're adhering. And I'm going to go ahead, this is not going to be a pocket, this is going to be pure decoration and make it look super cute. So I'm going to add some extra glue here and there. And then I'm going to place it. Now this is a little bit smaller than the cover edge. Now, spine. I'm going to grab my scoreboard. I know this is 3/4 of an inch, and I've got my middle line marked there on purpose because I can then decide, okay, that's the middle. So if I'm 3/4 of an inch, I'm going to go to that green line. I'm going to score. And I'm going to score the next one over. Score. And score the next one over. Okay. I'm going to fold them this way. I'm going to fold them this way. And then use my bone folder. At this point, orientation does not matter, but I am caring that I am breaking the paper on this edge, the part that's not going to be out. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead and score again, going the opposite direction. If you don't have a bone folder, highly recommend it. I use it more than I thought I would. In scrapbooking at least. But I do feel like I kind of make books. I make books. I'm a bookmaker. Okay, so the part that's going to be seen is that inside edge there. And that's fine. I'm going to use this now to line everything up. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Just like that. And it's going to go in that middle part. I rotate everything to meet me. Just a forewarning there. That's why. Okay. You can see me rotate stuff a lot as I work. I'm going to just make it meet my needs. Okay, and then I'm going to chop off the excess spine that I have. This bit, the spine cover, was not exactly 8.5. So everything that was cut at 8.5, or, you know, I just had to cut for my 8.5 by 11 paper, was a little too tall. So I'm having to go in and do that. Okay. So now the fun part, right? Making sure orientation is correct. I am going to glue this up to and not overlapping that score mark. I'll do the inside in the next video. So you got some time to catch up. But you can always pause, rewind, go back through, whatever you want to do. Isn't that pretty? I like this added touch of what looks to be like the ribbon that you would use in a book. I just really like that. So that is that. So, let me know what you think about this video, if it was helpful, if you're feeling inspired. I'm was definitely inspired by another crafter who made something similar, not exactly the same. I figured I would put mine together with you so you get a new tutorial. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.